Greetings, fellow kindred and other ghouls and creepy people out there. We're back Sunday with the Vampires of Melbourne Season 3. So obviously we've had a bit of a hiatus from the Vampire Masquerade world, and we're here to complete our story. So we're going to run Season 3 until its completion. So this, we're not sure how long we will be running for. 10, 12, 15 sessions, or however long it takes. We're going to complete our story, and then once we've completed with Vampire Masquerade, we're going to return back to the world of Paradigm and continue with our Shadow's Embrace. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our storyteller, Mr. Orbazum, up there in the top corner, and
hey, that's me.
we will start with our story tonight. So sit back, enjoy, get your vitae ready for your evening, and join us in our story.
Well, hello there, everybody. I'm going to give you a recap of a little bit of what's happened so far and hopefully catch everyone up. Then we'll carry on with our current storyline. Everything's very interesting at the minute. So, the story so far Elysium held a meeting. Prince Leslie Taylor wished to root out his enemies, stomp on the resistance of the Anarchs, the Thinbloods, and the Sabbat. The same night, that very night he had the meeting, Elysium was attacked, with an unsuccessful attempt that was made to end the prince. The prince's sheriff called forth a group of kindred which they enlisted to be their hounds, and the hounds have been busy night after night for the last 2 weeks trying to solve the problems of the prince. One night with a sniper at a meeting, a couple of nights hanging out with the prince for some of them, another evening with SI agents at his own home, multiple meetings with other kindred discussing events and politics. The hounds have dealt with some minor infringements that caused them to have to change their joint haven a couple of times, and they also had to deal with getting to know each other over 2 weeks that they have been in company of one another. The Elysium hierarchy have met with the Anarch leaders, and on that same night, the SI raided the building. The prince let out his personal weapon known as the Scourge, whilst the coterie fought hard to get everyone, including themselves, out alive. During this attack, some of the coterie witnessed the prince being murdered in front of their eyes, killed by another kindred whom the coterie have come to know as Timothy or Jeremy. With the prince dead, it seemed that things cooled down for a moment, maybe a day or two at least. A masquerade ball was attended, and meetings with our resident informant Van Diemen took place. One of the Anarch leaders was dealt with severely, leaving the Anarchs wondering what has happened to her. A motorcycle poker run also took place, where Aaron, one of our coterie, was able to get some quick cash and a glimpse of Timothy, but for whatever reason, his minimal memory of any transaction was all that remained. The coterie also had deep discussions about attacking an SI building, saving the Tremere Justicar Mary Wade, who was meant to be very powerful. And some of you had people close to you that you were worried about. You've done some urgent reconnaissance recently to find out what may or may not have happened with both the assistant and the friend, being aided by none other than who you think is the Sabbat leader, Jonathan Phillips, and Arturo Giovanni of the Church of Christ, where they're hanging out in South Yarra. The coterie were also called to a temporary Elysium at the Lost Art Gallery in Northcote to find out if any of them had heard from the sheriff, who seems to be missing. While waiting for the Primogen Council, one of the coterie came forth and placed a small present on the floor and began to open it, a gift which did cause a minor explosion, catching a few of our coterie in the blast. If not for the quick thinking of other coterie members, it could have gone worse. However, this left one of you badly damaged and in torpor, whilst the others were ushered into another council chamber to hear what the Justicars and the Primogen Council have to say. They announced the new sheriff. They also announced, sorry, I'll take that back. They announced a new prince. And they also announced that the sheriff is missing. They don't know why, where, or how. Then, after announcing Echo as the new prince, they left our coterie with a lot of decisions to make. So here, we continue our Saturday evening. While the main coterie are here talking about praxis and what their next moves are, our time has seeped ever so close to midnight on the Sunday. Still, the Sunday we left our last game on. The weather outside is cloudy but clear. We are going to move back into the Lost Gallery in the temporary Elysium roughly an hour after that small explosion and about 10 minutes-ish after the announcement of our new prince, Prince Echo of the Toreador. Aaron has received a phone call only moments earlier, and he has excused himself from the room, stating he had important business to attend to. Obviously, much more important than this princedom. This leaves us now looking at Jackson, Pip, Isaac, and Echo. And Zane, not here. You guys are all in this room together. The Justicars and the Primogen Council, Echo, are congratulating you one by one, shaking your hand, kissing cheek to cheek, all the jazz that they would do, showing you as much respect as they can and wondering what your next move will be. Echo, can you just remind everybody what you look like in this point in time? Just give us a quick, brief overview of your characters as we're coming back into the new season, please.
Echo has long, wavy red hair, bright, brilliant green eyes, obviously pale skin. She has a beautiful figure, as Toreadors are wont to do, and moves with a quiet grace about her. As she is exchanging thank yous to her congratulatory people. There you go.
Nicely done. Where are you, Isaac?
Isaac is currently standing not too far behind Echo, sort of waiting for, I guess, all the celebratory things to conclude. So he's just kind of just standing back, casually leaning on his cane that he is well known for using. He's just waiting for his moment.
Nice. And while he's leaning on his cane, can you also give us a quick description of Isaac Montgomery Graves? Thank you.
Sure. He's a little bit shorter in stature, probably about 5'8"-ish. He is brown eyes, has chestnut hair, and a fairly well-groomed and looked after beard. He stands out from the crowd as he tends to wear clothing from around about the 1800s of that era. So, and the thing that he is, other than his cane, is most noted for is the top hat that he generally does not leave home without it.
Nice. And as the council are going past Echo one by one, doing their usual thing, making a big deal, more of a big deal than normal, you're standing back and waiting. And Pip, would you be in amongst the group, or would you, in the same room, obviously, but whereabouts in the room would you find yourself?
Pip would be trying to stay away from everyone else. He does not want to mingle or hobnob or be kissed on the cheek. He would be trying to find out where Mr. Rivera is, though. And he would look very uncomfortable.
And while he's looking uncomfortable, can you describe to us what Pip looks like?
So Pip is a gangly, sort of thin-looking man in his mid-30s. He is well dressed but not well kept. So he has a vest and a dress shirt and a tie, but his shirt is untucked at the bottom. He's got a scruffy chin strap beard and a messy sort of hair and thick black rimmed glasses.
And you say you are trying to find the whereabouts of Zane. Who might you be asking?
I wouldn't be asking, I'd just be sort of poking around the place, trying to see if anyone said anything about him, not being confident enough to ask anyone where he might be.
Give me first roll of the day, night.
Oh dear.
Give me a. You're just listening in, basically. So just a wits awareness.
Wits awareness. 2 successes.
So you don't hear anything about Mr. Riviera at all. Most of what's going on is the hobnobbing, as you put it, of the executives around here, the Primogen Council, all sort of muttering to one another about the new prince. The Justicars sort of wondering if they're going to keep their jobs and their standings. The idea I guess the idea you get is that no one really cares about Zane at this point, other than your own team. Jax, whereabouts would you be in the room?
I'd be wanting to keep eyeline on the newly announced prince as much as possible. So probably not so much following her around, but definitely keeping her within line of sight.
Similar to Isaac, eh?
Yeah, more hanging back enough to allow her moment, but also be within range enough. Obviously, if something hits the fan, basically. Jackson's forever the security guy, just always aware of the surroundings, trying to make sure that even though this is a temporary Elysium, now that obviously his coterie mate has taken the position of power within the Camarilla, he remembers what's been offered and he wants to ensure that he does that job to the utmost of his ability as well. So he's definitely taking on that security role and he takes it very, very seriously.
So as you stand back, I would say to the south corner of the room near one of the entrances, so you get good view on her. There's nothing impeding your view. You can see both exits. No, I mean, there's windows, but they're all glass tinted and they're all bulletproofed, and you know that. Give us a description of Jackson.
Jackson Spencer is just shy of 6 feet. He's broad-shouldered. At this moment, he's wearing a very sort of casual black jeans, black t-shirt with a leather jacket. Normally you see him in sort of semi-formal wear, as he is a business owner as well, but since the events of recent evenings and obviously more or less destroying his own business facade to give him more freedom around the city, he's taking on more of his natural clan look, which generally looks more like a biker at the moment than anything else, but still relatively strong presence. Always a real intense look on his face. Short, jet black hair, slightly graying because he's got the look of a sort of mid-40s sort of gentleman. But quite rough looking. He's got, if people who know him would have seen some of his few scars that he's had, some older tattoos from before he was embraced, but not seen beyond his arms and on his chest and things, basically from his time in the military. But a very intense looking man.
Very good. So with those formalities out of the way, Echo, the last of the council is, and I shall get the council up in front of me so I don't have to worry too much about this. The last of the council has come up to you, lean forward, taken both your hands in hers, Anne-Marie Dawley of the Nosferatu. And she's very pale-skinned, the veins showing, eyes sunken. She nods at you and she says, "So, as of tomorrow night, you will be taking over formally and properly. Do what you will with the rest of this night. I guess you shall call council meetings from now forward, and it's your decision when they will happen."
Thank you. I will. It has been an interesting night with the explosion and everything, and I will assume my duties as soon as possible.
Well, as the prince, you get to say when and where things happen for the most part. If you want to be active, that's fine. If you want to be inactive and behind the desk, that works as well. But I do recommend, and she leans right into you and sort of whispers closer to you, I do recommend that you watch all the others around. And she looks around the room, because all of them, they're like a sword of Damocles hanging above your head, waiting for you to make a mistake. Living up to Prince Taylor is a big job.
Thank you for your advice.
And she lets go of your hand and walks away. It didn't come across as threatening, just like a warning. She knows, as well as you do, what the politics can be like. And with that, the council heading from the room if you don't wish to see any more of them about anything.
And we are in the room where the bomb went off still, yes?
No, so you were moved from the room where the bomb went off and taken into another council room for this meeting. So that was more like a waiting style room, the one the bomb went off.
I turn around and I look at everyone of the coterie that I'm in, and, well, that was interesting. Aaron's took off, as he does.
Nothing
Saints.
unusual for Gangrel.
Bad dog.
Yes, very.
Indeed. Is the keeper still around? By any chance, storyteller?
Yes, the keeper remains by the door he led you in through. He sort of stands much like a security guard would, with his hands sort of crossed over in front of him, as he's just awaiting any instruction. Basically, the keeper runs the gallery or the temporary Elysium, but he's still under rule of the council and the prince.
So, congratulations, I guess, Echo. Or should I say, my prince?
I'm in shock. I didn't.
You expected it. You
I
knew.
mean, come on.
Well played, should I say, Echo.
Didn't expect the sheriff to run off. We're going to have to look for him, but
Do we?
first things
You
first.
name a new sheriff. Why do we need to look for the old one?
Because the old one can come and bite back. And I need to make an example.
Duly noted. Keeper.
The older wispy
Can't remember his
grey-haired-
name. Otherwise, I would have called him by his name.
William Chopin. He comes forth, nods to you and says, "Mr. Spencer, yes?"
William. I'm quite sure, as I am curious, I'm quite sure the rest of the coterie is curious as well. And I don't mean to speak out of turn, Prince Echo, but where the hell is Zane?
Well, after your bomb went off and none of you succeeded to revive him, Ronald and Victor have taken him to the rooms below to see if they can find some vitae that will be potent enough to revive him.
Indeed. Can we have him return, like ASAP? We obviously have a lot to discuss.
100%. Once he awakens and is in a position where he is not frenzying for hunger or something similar, then we can bring him back to you at any time, or you can go and see him. Either.
Defer to you, Prince Echo.
I mean, I would like to see him make sure his parts are still on.
What, I mean, he's still got a little hand. I mean, that's got to grow back.
What do you guys think? Do you want to go? Check on Zane? Figure out our
Before we
next
go,
moves?
Prince, and hopefully is the rest of the Primogen Council still in the in the room, Storyteller?
They are exiting, but you could grab attention of them if you like.
Yeah, so excuse my boldness, my prince, and he slams his staff onto the ground so it can resonate and hopefully grab attention.
All of them. Sorry, all of them.
I would like to address the prince and the council, if I may.
Yeah, the council stop in position and they sort of all turn around to face as one of the guards is sort of holding the door open, ready for them to leave. They sort of wave him and he closes the door. They all turn him back around, Justicar's Primogen Council and all, and they look back towards you, Isaac.
I'm sorry for my boldness, but this matter cannot wait. Prior to Prince Echo's appointment, we were looking into, as part of my understanding, the coterie at the time were looking into the disappearance of the Justicar Mary Wade. I have, and with aid of the team here, we have discovered her location. It's an old ammunition factory in Footscray. It's apparently ran and looked after by the SI. The reason why I'm doing this now is that we need to act, and we need to act quickly, and I need to know who of the Camarilla will be involved in helping to rescue our Justicar. Not just for the Camarilla, but for the clan Tremere.
You can hear them all they all look at each other, almost a surprised murmur that you've announced that you've basically discovered her whereabouts. And the Tremere Primogen Bobby that you know well, Bobby Stigg, stands forward and he says, "Yes, I agree with Isaac. We should put all of our forces into this if you know where she is. Well done, Prince Echo," and he nods to you, Echo. Permission to give our forces as allies.
That would be good. Any help we can get would be beneficial, but we need it quickly.
Sorry, how soon did you say you were making this rescue?
I have a close associate who sent me the information about the building itself. They are in the process of about to raid under Human Act rights on 3 other buildings, including this one as well. They are going to act on Monday night.
Oh, so less
If
than
I don't give them
24 hours.
any indication, they are moving in regardless of our help or not. And I fear, as good as they are, and as much as I trust them with my life, the importance of the Justicar Mary Wade should be a priority for the Camarilla. So if I can let them know when we are able to move, I can get them to back off on that building.
Well, and this is Bobby speaking again. Well, I'm happy to put anyone I can forward for Monday night. It's easy to move them from place to place. He looks to the others, and most of them are nodding in agreement, but they are looking towards you, Echo.
Does Echo know protocol for these sorts of things?
Yeah, so you would know, being a Tory or being around some of this before, you would know that they can all agree, but Echo, as a prince, you would need to give them the "I give you permission" sort of scenario, as well as give them the okay to attack on the Monday, or say no at whether it's best they do it at a better or organized time, or something. They're looking for you for advice, basically. They want you to make a decision. They want to see what your decision making is.
Echo will stand and listen to Isaac, and then she will say, anyone that has means and people that they can send, come to me, and we will set up a meeting spot for... Yanti's having a brain freeze. Divvying out the people where they're supposed to be. But Echo would have said it better. It's been a week.
That's all right. So Connor, the gangrel head, says, "Yes, all the muscle that we have will be sent your way." He looks to the others. "We will get together and we will bring you, Prince, all of the numbers that we can have abound for tomorrow night, if that is what you wish."
All right. We'll meet at the Gangster's Paradise. That's someplace centralized. Nathan already knows about it. I'll be there later on tonight.
All right. Say 3 a.m.
3 a.m. is good.
3 a.m. And they all nod. And you hear, Isaac, that they all are in agreement of getting Mary Wade, who is one of the more powerful Justicars, back as soon as possible. It seems to be that every kindred in this room either liked her or wanted her back in some respect, so that it's going ahead. They listen to the prince's commands and exit the room, once again all in murmurs about, "Can we get her back? This is going to be great. We're going to take the SI down." You sort of hear that same sort of murmur. With that, we're just going to move away from this room for a moment. We're going to move into a dark area, underground. It's pitch black, other than small candlelight. Zane, you awoke right at the end of the last episode. You awoke to smell burning wax of the candle, but it was a very dark room. You tried to move, but you were bound tightly by chains, but no ordinary chains. You can feel as you move that they are slightly burning if you struggle. So you struggle a little less. You are hungry at hunger 5, but you are awake. You can taste fresh vitae in your mouth. You can see another light appear in view across the other side of the room. It's a wavering candlelight, moves back and forth a little, and as your supernatural eyes adjust rather quickly, you can see a robed, hooded figure. Give me a wits and awareness, bearing in mind you're at 5 hunger. I can't hear you, man. You must be mutated.
So, seeing wits and awareness, it's
Yes.
all red dice.
That's wonderful.
No, it's not. Okay, so I've got 1 fail, 2 successes, and the other 2 are black.
That is fine. So it's just a check, and it's only low, and you didn't get a bestial failure. But however, it didn't give you as much as you'd have hoped. With your hunger welling up, the taste of that vitae in your mouth, a strong enough vitae to wake you up. Everything is still like a hangover. Like you remember in life what a hangover is like. Your head is pounding, you're hungry, you feel like you want to vomit, but that's not a thing you've done since you've been like this. But you can see the hooded figure's face, and it's Jeremy, Timothy, whichever name you prefer. And he moves closer to you with the candle that he is holding. It seems to be on a little metal tray, old school looking sort of looped saucer almost. And he says, "Oh, good, you're awake. I was hoping I'd found potent enough vitae, and it seems that I did. Are you okay?"
Do you have any more of that stuff? I want more. Okay, more. Any more? A little bit more. Little bit.
It's a no. Waking you up was one thing, but you would be bound to this person the more you drink. I don't know if you want any more just yet.
What person? Who?
Well, the kindred that the vitae comes from.
So not you. Who?
Well,
Please tell me. Please.
I had someone backlog. I don't think I can trust you enough to tell you who from.
Aww.
So, do you feel all right?
Hungry. Very hungry.
Well, that's what happens when you go into torpor.
What?
You've been in torpor, you know. You were badly damaged. I don't know if you can look down really because you're chained up, but you have a lot of open wounds. Saying, looking down as best you can, laying on this cold concrete slab in these chains, you are pretty much in your underwear. That is all. You have open wounds, no flowing blood, but that of what you'd expect to see if you were to chop an axe into a corpse that's been dead for about 10 days. There's nothing moving around so much. Your skin's very dark, purplyish, almost white on top, but where you open it up, it's like old, crappy steak that's been in the fridge a bit long. It doesn't seem to be healing that well. But you haven't met final death yet.
Let's get Zane to describe himself for our viewers again.
That's a good point. Zane, lying naked on the slab, nearly naked. Give us your description. Thank you, Jax. I forgot.
Average build, of course, scars from here to nether and more. A baby hand, slowly regrowing.
Isk.
A shyish, girlish look. As the picture describes. Dyed hair, only because he doesn't like being out in the public as much as most people.
Nice. And Jeremy leans in a little closer and he says, "Do you feel vulnerable?"
Vulnerable. How do you mean vulnerable? I mean, I'm strapped to this, I guess, maybe.
That's good.
I don't.
Do you know your team well?
My team. Echo. Pip. Jax.
You see his face tighten and he sort of drops the niceties and he says, "Damn it, you're a fool. What I meant is, how well do you know them?"
Oh. Jax hates me.
I can understand.
Pips. Still obsessed with him. There's a new one. Who's that new one?
I think you're well enough to go back to them, but I want to give you something first.
I don't like presents.
And do you have a phone in your clothes over there? I wasn't rude, I didn't go through them.
Possibly. How'd I get here?
I brought you here.
You... Okay. All right. Yeah, it may be over there, maybe working. Hopefully
Good.
it's not damaged.
He takes the candle he's holding over. You can see as it illuminates the area, there's a chair and a dresser. And it seems almost like a cave as he gets to the wall. It's like a dugout. You can see a dresser, a desk, some writing equipment, a book or two, like a wardrobe type thing next to it, and a small bed that he's illuminating with his candle. The room itself, give or take, as he walks across it, you could guesstimate it's about 4 meters ish by 4 meters. Not exactly square, like I say, it's almost like a dig outside type space. But he gets over to the desk, ruffles through your clothing that seems to be just leaned or draped over a chair, and he pulls out a phone and says, yes, I'm going to, and he holds up his phone, your phone, going to Bluetooth through a message to you, and then you can read it at your own leisure and decide then what you think of your team.
Okay.
Then I want to ask you, actually, and he mucks around with the phones for 5 or so minutes, and you hear your phone make the Bluetooth tone or a message tone that he sent something to you. I will send that to you in person too, Zane, shortly. He says, now, do you want to get off this slab? Shall I undo your... Hang on. And he goes over to the dresser and brings back a bag of blood. Maybe you want some of this first.
Oh, please. About time.
He sits it just on the ground. You see him bend down beside the concrete slab. You tilt your head, you can't quite see where he's putting it on the ground, and you can hear...
Come on, be fair.
He says,
what's it?
I'm going to undo your chains, and you're going to get dressed. Do you understand?
What, my clothes here? Yeah, okay.
And then you can go.
Are they my clothes?
I assume so. I took them off you, unless you stole them beforehand.
No, I don't think so.
I want you to do something for me if I'm going to let you go and give you this blood, though.
Mm-hmm. Is it? What's it cost? Does it cost anything?
I think the idea here is, I don't know if you're getting this, but I'm going to let you go if you do something to me, or for me.
To you? Yeah. Okay, I got that.
If you don't do what I ask, then I will kill you. Right here and now. Simple. Final death. End of story.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yep, all good.
I've messaged to your phone a message that will tell you something about your team and that lets you make a decision. But that gives you also a number to contact me. And I want you to contact me with anything you have about your new prince.
Your prince?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Your friend Echo is now the prince.
Wow. Was it? And I missed that? Damn it!
You're talking too much.
Shh.
Yes. I want information about her, where she goes, what she does. Information about Marco, if he turns up, when he turns up. Information...
Didn't you kill the prince?
Yes, I did. And he grins from ear to ear. Funny, isn't it?
I'm confused now. Okay. Continue.
I just want information on your team. All of them. I don't care so much about Pip nor yourself. But the rest of them... important targets they are.
Okay.
You do this, and you will live. If I hear nothing from you within the week, then you will die. Final death by my hands, much like the previous prince.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh, I take it you understand.
So I can't tell them then.
You can tell them if you want. All the more fun for me. Oh,
Okay.
and how did you find my present with Aaron?
Thinking.
Come on.
Oh, that's right.
It's what got you here, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Bear that in mind when you're getting your information to me. And with that, he blows the candle out. You hear the movement of him walking away. You can do anything you wish at this stage as he walks away.
Well, I'll probably go for the blood bag.
It takes a little time to pull the chains off. He's undone them. He's undone whatever padlock or item was holding them. You remove the chains easy enough. They still sting as you remove them, and you know that feeling of some sort of magic has been on them. But the blood bag is on the floor, and you may utilize it, cleaning up one of your hunger points as you do. Mark that off the sheet. You go down to 4. As we return to the main group,
Pip, you okay? You look uncomfortable.
I want to get Mr. Rivera back. I get that this is all very political and very important, and Mr. Isaac seems very concerned about Mary, and I'm sure that makes sense, but I'd really like to go see Mr. Rivera if that's all right.
I think we do need to get out of here and get together and someplace where we know it's safe.
Well, this place.
I don't feel safe here.
It's not safe anywhere in the city right now. Not with the SI moving the way they are. I'm not sure. What did you call the New Elysium? Prince Echo? I forget. But I'm not even sure that's 100% safe at this point.
No, Gangster's Paradise has got Nathan. He knows we're coming.
And I can ensure extra security is there. You know that. And if you are true to your word and you are to name me as your sheriff, then I intend to keep you safe.
Either way, we need to leave. We can get Zane and we can get out of here because that bomb was only when we were all together. So I think someone's targeting, and then Aaron's taken off. That's a bit suspicious.
Indeed,
So,
as well as obviously, I mean, he didn't seem like he knew what he was doing. I know that feeling all too well. But it means he's compromised at the very least. And could be compromised again when he returns. We have to deal with that when that happens. Other things that we need to talk about as well. Information that Dr. Graves has about our former prince that we all need to be aware of. Especially now that you are named our new prince. Information you will need to have also.
we can update each other on the ride there.
Indeed. Is William still in the room?
William is still in the room. He has not been told to go by the council nor the prince, so he is standing there patiently.
We need to go see Zane, please, William.
No problem. Follow me. And he opens the door that you came in initially, waves you through, introduces you to scroll my page back up, introduces you to Ronald and Victor, two of the Justicars that were in the room previously, and the ones that took Zane away. And he says, these two will take you down to where he is. It takes a few moments, a couple flights of stairs. You get down to like a cellar door, not old or drab by any means. They open the door and it leads into a big open wine cellar. Massive space with concrete columns. You can see wine bottles and racks, art that is covered in sheets. It's not damp or cold in here. It's a proper art gallery, and it has dehumidification to keep the artworks well in good condition. So it's very dry, very warm, and he takes you right through to the back to another door. Opens that. Well, he tries. Ronald tries to open it, and Victor says, "What's going on?" And Ronald says, "The door's stuck." And he clicks, pulls. Damn it, my key won't work.
Which way does the door open? In or out?
It pulls in. You can see they're trying to pull it in.
I'll move past everyone else and attempt to open it.
Okay.
Adding my potence to it.
Yeah, the key's in the door, and they've unlocked it. You heard it turn, but you just want to add your potence to the strength roll. So yeah, so give me a strength, strength athletics with your potence added. You're activating an ability for that, are you?
Yeah, it's free. So, but I'm at 2 hunger as well. Okay, that's 4 successes. But it's I got a messy critical on that. That's a messy crit. Holy crap.
Okay, so I like messy crits. They're good fun. Zane, you've got yourself dressed, I believe.
Not quite. Still
Not
trying to get last bit of blood I can get out of that bag.
Okay, so you're still standing there in your underwear. You hear some noises at a doorway. Not the same one, well, not the same way that your friend Jeremy went, or Tim in this case. Jackson, as you pull on the door, but you give it a tug and you're like, what the fuck? It's just a door. We're kindred. This is nothing. And a little bit of anger wells up in you. You push the senses forward, you push all the vitae to the muscle group on your arm, and boom, you just rip the door clean off its hinges, and it pulls back into the room onto the floor. And Ronald and Victor are like, whoa, easy. Jesus, what? It's just a door, man.
Too much shit's going on around here. I'm having a day, okay?
Okay.
And with that, I'll shoot them a glare like just don't fuck with me. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, they back away and just say, he's in there. Zane, so you see the door yank open, rip off. A light sort of bleeds through quite clearly now. And you can see the rest of your coterie. The message will be in the... Are you on Gilded, Zane?
Yes.
Yep, I'll send it to you on Gilded now.
So after ripping the door off, Jax would step aside and allow Echo to go first. Just sort of, and he'd probably give her almost sheepish sort of look as she walks past.
Pip sneaks past before she goes in. He don't care.
Pip! Echo! Oh, and you.
Pac-Man boxers, really? Zane,
What?
how old are you? Like 50?
That's not our Zane. Our Zane doesn't usually stand around his underpants, and there's bits of him missing. I mean, the hand's right, but there's a big chunk out of him. What have you done with our Zane? Our Zane wears clothes and it doesn't have big holes in him.
I think that was the explosion, Pip. That's why he's down here.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like. I mean, you do look like you're pretty fucked up, Zane. Seriously. But put some fucking clothes on, man. Christ.
I swear there was more of him before, and now there's less of him.
Well, I got a hole here, and I got a hole here. Anyone want to poke holes? Anybody? No? Okay.
Poke.
We need to get you out of here, someplace safe.
Right.
Feed you some more. You good to travel?
Yep. Oh, hang on. Do I need clothes?
Yes.
Yes, please, for us.
Okay.
So the
You
rest-
I
find
mean,
it a
I'm
bit
quite sure that
strange that Zane had to come down here to recover. Doesn't it seem odd to anyone?
I was assuming in case the beast took over.
I mean, this is not our usual Elysium either, so I'm not
So
sure of the
Ronald and Victor are still
protocols.
standing out the door if you wanted to ask them to.
Yeah, I'm
to
not.
zero.
I mean, if you want me to ask these guys, I can find out why he was brought down here. I mean, everything, all protocols seem to be out the fucking window right now, to be fair.
I just look at Ronald and Victor like, you know, when you look at someone,
Apparently, they didn't put me here.
they didn't
Someone
put
else did. Someone else put me here.
Who put you here, Zane?
Later. I'll tell you later.
Zane, you know what happened last time you kept secrets?
Okay, fine. It's Timmy.
Both Ronald and Victor look at each other with quizzical looks, and they're like, no, we brought him into here.
He said he brought me here.
You mean Clown Car Timmy? He's
Well,
all
you-
those other people.
Were you two at the door the whole time, guarding?
No, we chained him to the slab because he's a danger to himself if he frenzies or to others. We closed the door, locked it, so he couldn't escape if he, went crazy. We all know what it's like. And we went up to the keeper, so we were outside the top of the cellar door, and he told us to wait there. So we were only 2 rooms away.
Okay.
I mean, if he was that much of a danger, surely you would have torpored the guy first.
I mean, that would make sense.
He wasn't torpor, but we were looking for the vitae to raise him.
He's not
You would have
chained
kept
now.
him in torpor.
Well, just stop. I'm here, not in chains. See, no chains.
Jackson's looking around the room, looking for another way in or out of this room.
Over there somewhere.
Okay, Jackson, this will take you a few moments, so you give me a intelligence investigation, or if you think of something better, that's fine.
No,
And while you're doing that, the others carry on.
it's not good for me either way. Intelligence awareness, maybe?
Yep, I'd say intelligence awareness.
Yeah, 1 success. Not good.
Yeah, you can't see. You spend a few minutes looking around. You don't seem to find anything. Meanwhile, the others conversing.
Well, what are you looking for, Mr. Spencer?
Well, door was locked. They said he was chained down, yet when we came in, door was stuck. He's standing up, not chained. So someone else was in here. Someone released him, and they didn't leave through this door.
Do you see anything with your milky eyes?
Oh. It's been a while.
What about you two?
Since
Do you
the
know of any
unseen?
other way in this room?
You're talking to the
Yep.
two.
Yep.
They both look at each other. They're like, no, it's a gallery. It doesn't really have. We quickly dug this area out when we took it over to make it the temporary Elysium, just to have a safe place. But I don't think there's any other exits.
Clearly this place is not fucking safe. So I agree with you, Prince Echo. We need to get out of here, and soon.
People
Given this-
activate sixth sense the unseen.
Since the unseen.
Anyone got any blood bags? Kind of hungry here. Anybody? Hello? Anybody?
We'll get you something to eat, Zane. We're gonna get everyone out of here first.
What is the floor made out of, Storytell?
Lava.
The floor is lava. So, like I say, the room sort of looks like a almost hand carved dugout, but the floor seems to be cool, like clay or granite. It's sort of a mix of both. It is very, very crude in here. Even the slab in the middle of the room is like it's been dug around. But the desk, chair, and little wardrobe and whatnot have been brought down here, obviously. But the rest
Okay,
of it,
I would like to activate heightened senses. I would like to sense heighten the eyesight and smell.
okay. So with Sense the Unseen with Pip first, we'll go as cost free for you. So give me a Resolve all specs. Thanks, Pip. And Grim
Oh,
and Isaac. Heightened senses. Got to refresh my memory on these.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
If you're looking for a dice pool, it's Wits Resolve.
Resolve, yep. Okay, so
4 successes and a bestial failure.
That's okay. It's enough successes. So yeah, give me that Wits Resolve too, Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
So, Pip, with your Sense the Unseen up, you're not seeing anything ghostly or shadows of anything or illusionary, if that's what you're looking for. Anything specific?
Well, I assume Mr. Spencer was looking for a way out of the room that wasn't the door we came in, so I'd be looking at the wall to see if there was anything.
Okay.
That's 5 successes, Storyteller.
5 successes. Okay, so Pip, you do notice looking around the room, you're not seeing anything hidden with Sense the Unseen. However, you do spot blood sorcery. You get that. It says here you can spot dormant blood sorcery spells and rituals might be found. So on the chains that lie around the slab that Zane was on, there is that hint of blood sorcery to them. Isaac, you notice that. So you can smell the different air coming from one wall. Jackson's been past it, didn't spot anything, but can smell like outside air coming from a wall space. And upon closer look with your heightened senses, you can see very, very faint line work where the rock can be moved. It's like D&D.
Seems this might be another exit. I'm going to have a further look at the wall space itself. In particular, I'm looking for traps.
Good idea. So give me, and you've got heightened senses, so you can add your Allspecs to this pool as well.
Yep.
So give me intelligence investigation or something thereabouts, whatever you think would suit better.
Yep, intelligence investigation. Five again.
5 again. That's nice communal dice. So you're not seeing any traps, nothing that you would, as a Tremere, recognize as far as blood magic on this area. But looking around this space where you can sort of smell the air and see the minor infringements on the wall, there's like a hand space or a rock about the size of a hand that you sort of push aside, and it's like a switch, and the whole thing just it doesn't make any noise when it opens. Just the switch makes a small noise, and the whole thing sort of swings open, and it is entirely a false wall. Opens exactly like a door, and there's a set of steps leading upward that you can smell the street above. They lead out somehow up towards the street above.
The moment that's open, Jackson draws a pistol and it turns on the flashlight that's attached to it.
Noted.
This place is weird, and these chains are weird. I read something like this in a book called 50 Shades of Grey. No, I shouldn't tell you that.
All right. Echo, with your permission, I want to see where this goes. But if you say we all go, I will follow your wishes. But I really want to see where this goes.
Ronald and Victor sort of look to the prince and say, what would you like us to do?
I want you to inform the keeper of what happened, and I want a list of everyone in and out of this building. Tell him to see me at the Gangster's Paradise. I forgot to change that name.
No problem. Lastly, Zane, we didn't wake you up. We didn't find blood. So, congratulations on that.
Timmy,
all right.
I'm going to kill that fucking guy.
And they sort of bow to you, Prince, and they head up to see the keeper.
So before we head up, and Zane mentions Timmy, I want to see if I can use my smell again to see if there's a distinct odor or smell, something that I can maybe put it towards this second person in the room. So obviously I might be able to smell, Zane's scent. I want to see if I can pinpoint the second scent.
Okay, give me a resolve awareness, and same thing, add that extra to your pool for heightened senses. Yeah, or specs it as a, yeah.
Only one this time.
Yeah, you're getting mixed sense. You can smell like the smell of Zane. There's that smell of Vitae from the bag of blood that he'd been drinking. There's the Vitae, another Vitae mixing with that. You're getting two of them, but there's so much going on with Ronald and Victor in this room, and you can smell other, maybe similar to what you could have just got a hint of with the Primogen Council and the Justicars, and you're getting your crew around you. It's very mixed. Plus the smell of the street coming in now. It's tough.
What are your wishes, Echo? Do you want to get out of here or what?
Do you want me to take Zane to the Gangster's Paradise, feed him up, and some of you go chase after Tim Jeremy?
I'm not sure that we're going to be able to track him. I just want to see where this goes. Maybe give us some insight and something.
Let's all stay together then, because I don't want to.
I mean, Zane, how long ago was Tim Jeremy, whatever that fucking guy's name is, how long ago was he here? You got an idea?
yeah, about that long.
About 10 minutes? Yeah, so if with that, so Jackson say, yeah, no, if 10 minutes, he could be anywhere. Long gone, given his skill set. I think I tend to agree with you here, Echo. I think let's get out of here. Let's get somewhere safe. And we can discuss what we need to discuss and find out what the hell's going on.
I suppose the other question is, if Ronald and McDonald couldn't find any powerful vitae to feed the Zane, who have you been drinking, Zane?
Not Timmy. Damn it.
Why?
Someone else. Someone else, apparently.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, that's not good.
That means you could be
But
tracked.
I might have a way to find out
He-
when
he-
we're
he-
in a more secure location.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
out of here. This
People
place,
Yeah, whatever.
this place is compromised. We need to get the hell out. We need to get out of here.
Right.
So which way you guys head back the way you came, or
Yep.
up to the street?
No, we'll go back the way we came. I think way we
Alright,
know.
no problemo. So
If Echo allows it, Jax would take the lead, weapon drawn, and would not let anyone stop us. We reach the vehicles to take us to the New Elysium.
no problem. Now I cannot recall. Did you guys brought separate vehicles here?
Jackson
Ben
bought his own.
Zane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I were in.
As we're being let out, I go up to Echo. So did you win? Did you win? I got told you won. Did
I
you win?
won. Yeah. And
Yay!
he ran away. I don't know where he is. So we're gonna.
Who ran away?
The that Marco Polo ran away.
Oh,
So
I go away for I don't know how long it was, but I go away and things change. Damn.
you need to start healing yourself when you start getting hit and blown up, and just not like let it sit and fester. Next time.
I'll try and remember that, maybe. Okay, let's go.
All right. So you guys head back up to the Lost Art Gallery's main entrance, out that way to the vehicles you came in. And yeah, so I do remember now, Pip, Zane, and Echo, you travelled in one of your vehicles, didn't you?
Yep.
So Sam is still sitting awaiting as your driver, I believe.
Yes. Yes. He
remember if
took
you
us
drove
to
or not.
the church. So, yeah.
And Isaac, do you remember how you arrived?
Yeah, I would have came by Uber because I had that meeting
Meeting, yes. You did too.
with Miss Barnett.
And I'm pretty sure Jackson drove himself and Aaron
Yes, I
came on
did.
his own as well. Yeah. So that's everyone covered. So that's how you got here. How do you intend on leaving?
Jackson would not leave his car behind, so he would offer anyone who wishes it a ride with him if there wasn't enough room in the other vehicle. Take all of them. And he would insist on following whatever vehicle Echo was in. They can keep an eye on things.
I'll go with Mr. Spencer.
Okay, sounds good. Sam opens the door for Echo and for whoever's travelling with her, assuming Pip and Zane are going with her.
Yeah.
He opens the door for all of you and says, "Welcome aboard."
Hey, Sam. Sam.
Yes.
I am your new Prince Echo.
Oh. He sort of steps back and bows
It's
and
still
says,
me. It's still me.
my prince.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I know.
don't.
That's fascinating. Well done and excellent job.
Yeah. Yeah. And we blew up a little bit. So we're gonna need to get to the bar, Nathan's Gangster's Paradise, New Elysium.
Righto. Okay. Okay, that it is. I'll hop in and I'll close the doors and we'll get going then.
All right. Zane, Sam is not food. Just so you know.
That's a good
But-
point, Zane.
But just a little bit,
Sam is friend, not food.
little bit. Look, it's smaller. Okay.
Give me a willpower roll, Zane. You're at hunger 4. It's not 5. It's not too bad, but you need at least 1 success. How many willpower do you have?
I think he's the same as me. I think he's only got 3.
Yeah, 3. So
Yes.
that's all red dice, isn't it?
No, willpower's just normal. You don't
Normal?
roll. Yeah, you don't roll readies for willpower.
Success. One of the high successes. Just one.
One's all you need anyway. You've got enough willpower to not attack.
Then,
Sam.
in that case, with that, I find out what this bloody message is on my phone.
All right, so you hop in the car. Sam closes the doors and heads to the gangster's paradise while you open your phone and read your message. Jackson, you and Isaac enter your vehicle and are following behind them closely.
Following behind. Not super
Drop
close.
my height.
Oh, yeah, drop your heightened senses. That makes sense, because that'd be noisy otherwise.
Yes, because Jackson's car's not exactly the lowest profile vehicle.
So
but yeah,
conversation in car, Jackson. We can deal with that first as we should, if you like.
Before they take off, while Echo and Sam are having that conversation, Jackson would send a group text to his God, I can't remember his name now.
Francis.
Well, to the most loyal of his security force. So his best friend. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, Francis will be in there as well. Joe, that's it.
Joseph. Francis, yeah.
Yeah, so Joe, like the top crew, the ones he knows are the best at what they do. They're probably the top 10 or 12 of his guys, and just simply say New Elysium, New Prince, give them the address, and set security perimeter ASAP.
Yep, duly noted. They get the message. You get a quick reply from the leaders of the squads of the top X amount of crew, and they just reply with, on their way.
And then we would travel. Car conversation. I don't know. There would be much conversation. Jack's probably trying to just say to Isaac. So, full disclosure, when we get to Elysium, I think is probably our best option here, and that includes what we know about Prince Taylor. Even with Echo being our new prince, this thing with Leslie needs to be put to bed, one way or the other. She needs to know.
Well, I mean, I've disclosed as much as I have told everybody. Everybody should know everything.
Echo wasn't there when we were discussing what was happening with Leslie. She doesn't know what we found in the graveyard. That she needs to know. Because if he's still alive...
Have no hesitation in telling Echo what I know. Not because she's the prince, because of who she is.
And then obviously we need to deal with this next incursion. You have ways of contacting Sarah, I believe, as soon as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Once we've dealt with what we've needed to do here first, I can easily send off my message to let them know to hold off.
Indeed. Many kindred are not going to come back from this. You understand that, correct?
It's not the first time Camarilla have gone in knowing what is at stake, knowing who will come back and who may not come back and who will not come back. You saw the enthusiasm of the council.
Oh, indeed. I'm not shying away from a fight. I mean, this is what I do. My domain, if you will. I'm just hoping that the council offers the numbers that they promise. and leave politics at the door, because this is not about politics. This is about recovering one of our own. Obviously, you would know more than anybody how important Merriwade is to the Camarilla and to the kindred in general. But it'd be nice to stick it to the SI.
Fucking bomb in the hands of the SI. That is
my point.
Dangerous.
The point I'm trying to make here, Isaac, is if we cannot free her, she must meet final death.
Well, good luck to the person who needs to pull the trigger on that one. She will not go down.
I'm sure she will understand that she is not good to anyone in their hands.
She already knows this. You don't become a Justicar without knowing things of this nature. I'm sure you, in your military position, know when what is at stake, and these kind of missions, knowing when you go in, there is a chance that you may never come back. And if so, there's also a chance that it must be one of your own to make sure that you don't come back.
Indeed. But that aside, I fully intend to take as many of those fucking assholes with me as possible. I've become so tired of the mortals believing that they are better than us. They've grown strong, and we've let them become strong.
Be careful there, Mr. Spencer. You're kind of sounding like Sabat.
I'm not one for back alley treaties and deals. I'm one for actions.
Oh, I'm all about action too. It's why I'm here.
And
But
my anger gets the better
I'm
of
only
me.
saying, just be careful what you're saying, because words like that within the Camarilla ranks could get you into trouble.
Doesn't matter where
Trouble
words
you
like
don't want.
it doesn't really matter where words like that are said anymore.
Oh, well, you keep believing that, Mr. Spencer, and we'll see how long that keeps you alive.
My gut has kept me, well, alive is a relative term for us, Dr. Graves. But I'm still here.
Touché.
And with that,
well, that'll be the gist of the conversation for the rest of the journey.
you guys, Echo's car pulls up to a stop sign. Your car pulls up a few cars back by this stage, I'd say. Echo, we'll switch to your team and your car for any conversation there on your way to Elysium, if you like.
Echo will blatantly this time call Arturo and not wait for a hello, because he does not usually say hello, and just say, I am the new prince, and an explosion went off.
Firstly, that is excellent. And the second part is not. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Some of the hounds are not okay, and this Tim Jeremy is compromising my situation.
Is it safe to speak?
I'm looking at, I have Pip and Zane here in the car.
This Timothy, Jeremy, whatever, he needs to be put down. He's problematic.
Yep, you got that right.
What of the sheriff?
Sheriff has gone missing.
You say some of your coterie are injured?
Yes, one is severely injured. The one-armed man.
Is he essential? If not, put him out of his misery and drop him by the wayside.
I mean, you've talked to him. It's Zane.
Oh,
I mean, he could be useful.
I know Jonathan thinks he is useful, so we shall hold on to him. Forget my last statement. However, if he compromises anything, drop him.
Will do. We're going after Mary Wade because she's of great importance to solidifying the princedom.
She's dangerous.
Yes. But the more on my side, the better.
Yes. Be cautious of what you say to her. Her powers are remarkable, and we don't want her on the wrong side of myself nor Jonathan.
Any word on the Scourge as well?
He's making a mess behind the scenes. Not causing us any problems, though. We get eyes on him and we lose him as quick as we see him.
Right.
There will be news in the Mortals papers or TVs tomorrow. He is murdering.
We're planning on taking the gun factory. I give him the information that Isaac gave me on Monday. Do you wish me to be with them? Or do you think it wise to stay behind?
Well, you are the prince. You need to act like the prince. If you do things that are unprincely, they may assume something else is going on. And by they, I don't mean your coterie, I mean the Camarilla. I mean, the idea is to put them down, the Camarilla from the inside. You are now in their charge position. Disband what you will, but it's going to take time. If you go out in the field and put yourself in danger, they're going to see you as reckless. And then they might maybe look to put another in your place. Keep them happy as you can. Do what you wish, however.
And the other hounds?
It's problematic. If they stand with you, hold on to them. If they stand against you, destroy them.
I'll do.
Is that all?
That's all I have.
I guess you're doing a good job for now.
It's high praise from you, Father.
Oh, it is, you know. Just don't let them fuck it up.
All right.
And he hangs up without saying
I
goodbye.
hang up as well. I know him too well.
Father? Father? What? What? Father?
Zane?
Yes? She said father.
I know, and I sort of like, should we buy Echo a crown? Does she need a crown?
Ask her.
Do you need a crown, Echo? And why are you a prince and not like a king or something? How does...
I think that's a bit gauche. Although a Toreador would totally have a crown. I don't know. I'm on the fence. How are your roaches? You still alive? I'm sure they could survive a blast of Armageddon itself.
Yeah, I think they're all right. They're sort of scattered a bit.
Yeah, saying Arturo is my kindred daddy.
Kindred daddy.
Okay.
He's my sire.
Oh, not that kind of daddy.
God, Malkavians. Oh.
Sam looks over as he's driving, changes gears, moves to left around a corner onto the street with the Gangster's Paradise on and goes, yes, Malkavians. Nods and continues driving. Pulls into the driveway. Is there anything you Malkavians would like to say as he's pulling in? Anything you want to finish up before you exit the car?
And what's wrong with Malkavians? I mean, come on. We're awesome.
Look at you. Pac-Man
yes.
boxers, holes where your nipples should have been, and a little pterodactyl arm, Zane. And tell me what's wrong with you.
It's growing back.
Mr. Riviere is a very classy individual of mysterious means.
What he said. I
And a
think.
fucking idiot.
What?
I agree with that. Let's go.
All right. So there, we've got, if everyone's cool, we've got about an hour to go. We will take a 5-minute break if that's awesome with you.
Sure
Eagle.
thing. Sounds like a plan. I need a pee. All right, so we'll take 5 minutes here, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What's up, chat? Hope we're all having a great evening this evening. Thank you all for coming on in tonight and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. Metalhead with the raid earlier on. I'm sure Metal has disappeared to the land of Nod. It's stupid o'clock in the morning over there, but appreciate the raid, Metal. Glad you could stop by. Mr. Aircode, what's up? Holly Marigold as well. JJ, Drax, or everyone else that is hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it very, very much. Hope you guys are all doing wonderfully. Don't forget you got channel points to give out to the players too. We have a willpower redemption, so you can give them a free willpower roll, which does not use any of their willpower dice. They can roll all of their willpower pool for free. It's a one-off use, so once they've used it, that's it until you give it again. And then you can also give them an extra black die to add to their dice pool, which will give them a little bit of a bonus on any dice roll that they have. As I said, guys, Vampire Masquerade Season 3 will run for approximately 12 weeks. We're not entirely sure. We'll really depend on where we get with our story. Moving on after that, we'll be back to Paradigm 2 Shadow's Embrace, where we will continue with that homebrew story. And this coming Wednesday, although I have not heard from Roast Chicken since last week, but this coming Wednesday, we'll see the start of Mr. Roast Chicken's little mini adventure set in Wildmount, which is the Critical Role world. So I'll be playing in that. So come along on Wednesday night, 7:30 start New Zealand time, to join us for some more D&D goodness set in a slightly different world with a different DM. So hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. Then after that adventure is finished, I will be running a Lost Mines of Evldoa module, level 1 to 5. I have my players selected. We got four players for that. They're all ready to go. We'll do it. We're going to do our session 0 probably off camera this time, but we're going to be using Foundry for that. So I'm going to run all the players back through the Foundry character sheet so they know everything they need to know about that. And then from there, we'll probably look at another mini adventure maybe, or even another module. It really depends. I've got a few modules up my sleeve that I could look at. And obviously we'll create maps for those modules if and when I decide to run them. So I've got the Waterdeep stuff to look at as well.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Exactly. The auntie's eating a sandwich and checking on the COVID child. So,
Sounds good to me.
I don't even like rum. It's just as I said, yo ho ho.
Hey, well. We're just waiting on Zane to return and we'll get back into it. But yeah, so guys, lots of things coming up in the future. Also, community, if you want to be involved in any of the mini adventures, join the Gilded, !Gilded in the chat. We'll give you the link to the Gilded server. I'm no longer running Discord, so we're all switched fully over to Gilded now. Make sure you join the Gilded and get that sorted if you want to be involved, because all the polls for players and that are up in there.
Weather over there, are you?
Yeah, we had a massive storm here probably last week. Crazy.
I cannot hear Grim for some reason.
You might have muted your.
I did. I had red bits.
He muted his bits. Oh no.
Yeah, you said it was stormy earlier. Has it gotten worse, is it?
No, it sort of left, and then some people from Vic were saying the storm had headed there, and now it's come back.
It's swinging backwards and forwards.
Heavy again.
Yes.
It's going, no, fuck Victoria, we're going to come back and fuck up people in Tassie.
Magic, so sorry that message in Gilded. So Mina was saying get back to her by the Monday, did she?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's actually to her by the Tuesday.
By the Tuesday, okay, not Monday.
Yeah.
So the raid will be the following day, which probably would be the Wednesday.
Be the Wednesday.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, you are right.
Okay, sweet.
Correct.
That's fine. Yeah, we can restate. I mean, everyone's getting together now. You could almost set it off when you wanted before the Wednesday. I think like Sarah's team would be ready to roll. I think that's her words were they'll be ready to go and they're going to do it if you weren't ready or not. So it's kind of good that
they were going to go whether they heard from me or not. They were going to go.
Yeah,
that was the idea. So if I didn't let her know by that Tuesday, then she was going.
Sweet. So that kind of works out pretty good. That Eco sort of said, right, everyone's 3 o'clock at the Gangster's Paradise, because it's going to get you, at least by the end of this episode, at least an idea of the numbers you're going to look at.
Indeed. So I think everyone's back and ready. Zane's stuffing his face, which is in character, so that's good. He would be eating. We can get back into it whenever you're ready.
Oh, our voices are coming through on stream?
They should be. Let's see.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
All good.
We should be all good. I'll turn it back over to our storyteller.
You are muted and I don't see your cam on video, Aber.
Who? Me? That was me. I was talking to myself. I was talking to the chat, thinking I was talking to you guys. Holy crap.
I didn't hear a word.
No, the chat would have, but you guys wouldn't have heard anything. But never mind. It would have sounded good on the stream because you guys were talking. They could hear you and they could hear me, but you guys couldn't. So watch the VOD back; it'll make sense.
Would have been a bunch of crosstalk. Probably no one knows what's going on.
Who knows? But anywho, everyone's back and we can get started again.
Excellent. So you've all pulled up at the currently named Gangster's Paradise. There's this time of night, roughly, I guess by now it'll be probably pushing sort of to 1-ish in the morning. A few cars here. The clientele that you've been here once before, I think just Echo. I don't know if the rest of you
No,
have.
we've all been here.
You've all been? Okay. So the clientele is much the same. The idea of the bar is still the same. Speakeasy style bar hasn't changed. The patronage is very similar. Not that many at this time. And those of you, as you step out of your vehicles and into the building, Jackson, you can spot, you just look around and you do notice one or two of them, on your payroll. Not up close, they're not being obvious, but you know what to look for. If anyone else wants to, they can keep their eyes out, roll. They would probably notice your team too, depending
Would
on
there
what they
be
roll.
humans going to this establishment?
This establishment is a bar in the city, so yes, at some point there are humans. Probably, like I say, at this time of night, not as many for the style of bar it is. A lot of humans are into that disco, pump, 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 pump sort of dance music. This is more of a laid-back bar, so any humans that are here are probably a little older.
It's not really going to bother me.
Okay, but as you go in, there is that on the jukebox, a 1920s sort of music going on, 1930s type music going
Just
on.
for point of reference, knowing Zane's condition, Jackson would make sure that he has an arm under Zane's armpit, escorting him into the building to ensure that he does not run off and attempt to eat the patronage.
Are we friends now? Ooh,
Yes, Zane.
Humans. Can I just go over here?
Zane.
Echo will shadow cloak, which is going to, it's a free thing, and it's going to give her a 2 dice bonus to intimidation and stealth. And I'm going to look him in the eye real close, and I'm going to be like, don't fuck with my Elysium, Zane. I'm going to feed you.
I'll call back in my shell now.
Speaking of which, Prince Echo, where can we put him to feed him?
Is Nathan visible? He does own the bar.
Good call. So yes, Nathan is in the booth that you sat with Prince Taylor that day here. It's like the largest booth. It's the most private of the booths, and as you wander in, you know exactly where to look for it. It's sort of more to the back of the room. And yeah, Nathan is there with a couple of the Prince Taylor's original coterie that were left, that were still alive.
Nathan, hello. Zane needs an emergency feed. He's a bagger. Do we have anything on tap?
I don't know if I like the way he eats, but
No, it's disgusting.
It's so very disgusting. I think, and he sort of clicks his fingers. One of the bar ladies comes over, and he says, "You guys get the distinct idea that she's a ghoul." And he says, "Something in a bag for our unruly friend here." And he sort of waves her off, and she disappears to go get something. As you all, imagine you're all going to sit down in the booth. There's enough room.
Looking around, is there cameras, taps, like kind of like how secure is this area?
So you would see, and I guess from being here previously as well, I'm not going to make you do a check for this. Glancing around, You look for camera security, and there is. It's well hidden, and Nathan sort of sees what you're up to, and he starts to point them out to you and says, "Oh, we're quite under control here at this point. Our crew do note a few extra guards around tonight," and he looks at you, Jackson.
And I just give him a nod, and I'll just say, "And they are at your disposal, Nathan."
Excellent. So we are quite well guarded. More of our kind than theirs, shall we say.
All right.
Come, sit down.
We're going to pick a
My
booth. Ah, you heard. All right.
Oh, I knew.
Oh. Well, since you're my new herald, we're going to pick a booth a little bit away. We have a lot to discuss. I'll see you after.
That's fair. George Freeman, the male venture that was part of Taylor's team, and Nathan are sitting together, and then on the other side of Nathan is, or just away from a bit, is the older male, also venture, Daniel Connor, and they sort of give you a nod, almost a bow. They stand in the booth and bow just ever so slightly and say, "My prince," as you step away.
All right. Zane, come on.
You'll excuse me, Francisco, just for a few moments. I want to double check on security outside before we continue. I'll be
Stay
5
away
minutes.
from doors, Mr. Spencer. They're best on their hinges.
No door has ever stood in my way, Pip. And Jackson will get up and head outside.
All right. With Jackson heading out, we'll stay inside for the moment. I'll come back to you shortly, Jackson. What are the rest of you doing?
Finding a booth and
Easy enough done. There's open the open bar seats. There's open tables, but sort of every 3 or 4 meters, this is quite a big space. There's enclosed booths. Their seats sort of work in a half circle. They are curtained or walled, depending on the area. And it's easy enough to find something quite similar to where Nathaniel was, just not quite as big, but big enough for the 5 or 6 of you.
I'm going to order drinks for show. And then once they're there, I'm going to sit and look at Isaac and say, we have a lot of catching up to do. I am so sorry for throwing you in the deep end after all these years.
Well, seems that I threw you somewhat in the deep end tonight as well.
Yeah. Now I've got to figure out how a bunch of kindred are going to storm the castle. That
You're
didn't know
just
about.
the prince. You don't have to tell them what to do. You let them figure that out. As long as we have a game plan.
Do we have a game plan?
Or you let those who know more about the tactical side of things, let them handle the work.
Now, what do you guys want to do? We were hounds. Do you want to join in the Merry Wade?
I'm there. No question, I am going to be there. I'm part of Clan Tremere. If I'm not there, then that looks bad on me. So I'm there.
From my understanding, and I mean no offense to like the Prince Echo, the Prince Echo, Justicars are like a really big deal, like super big deal. And if they've got one, then we probably need to get it back because I don't think there's very many of them.
Tech support? No? Okay.
What did Tim... You were going to tell me later. Tell all of us later. Now it's later. Later's now.
Someone isn't who they say to be. I think. Maybe. Could be you. Could be you. Not Pip. Not me. I don't know why. Could be Jackson too.
Pretend that I'm not a Malkavian. Just for a minute. I'm like, I'm
You
just
know,
a normal person with just one person in their head. What would that mean?
Huh?
What did Tim tell you?
That somebody isn't who they're making out to be. Yeah, that they left. He left. He left message on phone, texted you, so you know what that says. I don't know anymore.
Right as Zane,
I,
sorry Zane, right as you're rambling on, the young lady who's Nathaniel sent to bring a blood bag for you comes forward and just stands there awaiting as you're conversing, knowing full well who the prince is now. She just stands there with a bag on a tray, but it's not like an obvious blood bag. She sort of tips the lid so you see it, and puts the lid back on.
Thank you.
how far away is she from me?
So I'm imagining that you're sort of in the booth a little further than Echo, and she's nearest to Echo. So that's in my imagination.
I'm gonna say thank you and take the tray. And
she pulls the booth curtain over, knowing full well what is going to happen.
Your juice box, say.
Juice box.
Zane, I just want you. So you've had one blood bag about give or take an hour ago. I want you to just give me. It's no issue to take it, but I want you to give me a willpower roll again. Thank you. And while you do that, just show up hand signals. I'll go just quick to Jack's outside and see how long he's going to be in there. Jackson, you wander out to catch up with your team.
Yes, I look specifically for Joe.
Yep, so Joseph's is one of the closer ones that you saw as you entered.
And I'll walk over to him and say, look, I know this is not regular. I'm pulling you guys off regular details, but things are not right now.
Okay, sir, no problem.
This whole thing, just something not sitting well with me, and I feel a lot more comfortable if I got you guys around. So, priority number one, protect the prince.
Got it.
At all costs. At
all costs, no worries.
We take stock of everyone that comes and goes in this place. I know we've got guys that can see more than others. Make sure they're on the ball.
Okay, will do.
Priority 2. Sabat is closing in. Keep an eye out for them. You know what to keep an eye out for. You've been doing this long enough.
Guy who tricks everyone.
Yeah. And that Tim Jeremy in mind. He's a shape changer, we know that. But just make sure you guys are onto it. Keep everything high alert until further notice.
Okay, I'll let the team know. Top priority Prince, keep an eye on this place. Eye out for Sabat, eye out for the change guy. Tim,
yeah, I mean, and of course SI, I mean, I don't think they're going to hit this place, but we don't know. They're making bold moves.
Saying look out for everything.
Pretty much. It's top priority to make sure this place does not get hit. Don't want to see what happened at Elysium in the city to happen here.
I've kept our team on the down low. They are hidden in spots. You will only see one or two of us at any one time. The main reason for that is I think it was obvious with the other Elysiums having everything so protected.
I agree.
Protected.
Let's be as covert as possible.
I'll put the Nosferatu on it.
Indeed. Well, I better get back inside. After all, I'm still a hound to the new prince. We'll catch up. I got some other things we need to discuss as well, but we'll discuss that later.
I do have a message before you go.
Spit it out.
Your friends, the Thin Bloods,
Ah, yes,
you missed the meeting and they
I
are a
did.
little unhappy.
Could not be helped. Get a message back to them and just with my apologies.
The message they left was Benson's arm.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they pretty much, and he hands you a paper note that basically says, "We don't like being stood up."
Okay. Well, we'll send that message right back. Next thin blood that crosses any of our guys' paths, send them back in pieces.
You want to start a war with the ones who can walk in the day?
They started a war with me. We'll see how we go.
I don't mean to be forward, sir, but you missed the meeting. They are.
A little overreacted, don't you think? A meeting, send one of my guys a piece of him back at least.
They didn't kill him. He's still. They gave him back. They just cut his arm off. It'll grow.
Might see how the prince wants to deal with them.
That's fair. Otherwise,
Not
we'll
my
keep
call
an
to
eye out.
make, unfortunately, anymore.
I didn't think you'd want another war going on with everything else.
Oh, we got the fucking anarchs to deal with as well. The shit's just fucking hit the fan. I swear it. The city is fucking falling apart. Anyway, back to it. Catch up with you
sir.
later.
No problem.
And I'll head to my car, and from the boot, I will make sure I have reasonable amount of ammunition for my pistol, so 3 or 4 extra magazines, and
No
I
worries.
will retrieve a sword which has a strap. Basically, the scabbard has a strap on it, so I can hook it over my back as well.
You can see Sam, Echo's driver, just leaning against the boot of the car. He's reading through a text on his phone by the looks of it. He looks over and says, "Mr. Spencer,
Sam, all good?
quite. Everything all right?"
Just precautions. I'm a little skittery. New prince and all.
"Oh, she's treated me quite well."
Oh, she treats everyone very well. Not what I meant. Now a target, you realise that. So security
yes.
is of the utmost importance.
He taps the vehicle and goes, "Dung, dung. We have many defences."
That's what I like to hear. You may spy a few extra bodies around. They're here for our protection. I sort of nod in a general direction, not sort of giving any specifics. He would have seen me talking to Joe quickly. So
Just nods back.
and you just going to wait out here, not going to come inside?
"Oh no, I leave the politics to the politicians, my friend."
Yes, politics. And Jax just sort of rolls his eyes and turns and heads back inside.
Sam goes, as you walk away, you hear him mutter, "Oh my God, she's sending me nude photos now."
I don't know that Jackson would correlate.
Is that who I think it is?
I would say it is.
Oh my God!
I know who it is. I mean, I just don't know if Jackson would put 2 and 2 together. I mean, yeah, I don't know that he'd put 2 and 2 together. I just sort of make that face like, huh, and then just keep walking.
Moments inside, after the curtains pulled over, and Zane, you drink of the blood, you get rid of another hunger. Basically, your hunger is now at 3, sitting middling, feeling better, and Jackson, you would walk in after your conversation about that moment to the booth as well. Been shown to the booths, get to sit down with the team. I'll leave it to you guys to carry on your conversation.
Sorry about that. Just double checking the security outside, making sure everyone's on the right page.
It appears Pip and Isaac are going to go with the Mary Wade.
Well, you know I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to miss a fight.
Zane wants to be on deck support.
That's probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
He can maybe... Yeah, I think that's actually... Zane, you could liaise between Sarah's crew and ours. I know how you enjoy Sarah's company.
Oof.
Just no.
And Jake
He
just
scares me.
grins from ear to ear.
You are not nice.
I never professed to be nice, Zane. But no, tech support, definitely. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the numbers we need. Hopefully. You know their side's not going to go lightly or quietly.
That's why this is so good. Sarah's going under the guise of a human trafficking raid. That's the distraction we need.
Mm-hmm. So
We'll
would it
send them in.
be wise then for us to be dressed in a similar fashion, perhaps?
We could.
Use the guise of the human law enforcement to get in?
Well, considering how much time that we have until this is going to happen, I don't know whether we're going to have enough time to accommodate for everybody, but Sarah's team quite capable of setting up the distraction that we need to get in. They're going to be too busy handling that.
We also need to be aware that they probably know we're coming.
I mean,
this is just me from as you say, my area of expertise and tactical abilities and knowledge. Never assume they don't know. We need to be prepared for the very real possibility that they know we're coming. We don't know who this Timothy Jeremy, whatever the fuck he is, we don't know who he's working for.
yes. There's a lot of gaps in my knowledge about what you guys know compared to everything else, so...
And this is a good time we can maybe fill some of those gaps. We know that there are kindred working with the SI in this particular instance. We also know that Sabat has a very vested interest in what is going on.
I get out my phone, send a text to Echo. Should we tell him?
No, Zane. I just say out loud. Isaac, I'm going to need to talk to you. Probably after. Catch up. I have a Tremere question to ask you.
Very well.
So, cards on the table here. And this is more for your benefit, my prince, as you are now leading the Camarilla. The Anarchs are definitely not with us against the SI. With the removal of a Baron, they will not support the Camarilla in any way, shape or form. In fact, I have been approached by the Anarchs to switch sides, which is not unusual. I did not outright say no, and not for the reasons that some of you may assume, but for the simple fact that it gives me an in to perhaps talk more and get more information about what they may or may not know. I was also offered, interesting actually, the same deal that you offered me, Echo, from Marco. Marco pretty much guaranteed me the position of Sheriff of Melbourne if he was appointed Prince, but there were strings. It's always strings. I guess my question to you, what are the strings that are attached to your offer?
What is it you're trying to pursue?
I'd just like to know where I stand. Lies, secrets don't sit well with me.
Then you shouldn't be a kindred.
Didn't really have a choice on that. As many of us were in the same boat.
We all have lies and secrets.
Some run much deeper than others.
Not gonna give up any of mine. As Prince, I need to keep all my cards close. But I do like loyalty. If we can get this Mary Wade under control, we're gonna look very, very good to the Primogen Council. And then we can reassess what kind of power you all want from this deal.
My loyalty lies with whoever sits in your chair as a member of the Camarilla. My loyalty lay with Prince Taylor till he was removed. You now have that power. And with it, my loyalty, and I intend to see you stay in that position with the ability that I'm able to offer. I guess what I'm asking is if your offer is true, as many offers have been laid on the table, yet nothing has been actually solidified.
Well, I just got it an hour ago, so, But I guess I have the power to call Nathan as my herald or you as my sheriff or whatever keeper I want. But this Mary Wade will be a true test of loyalty for all of them, Primogen included.
So we are to remain your hounds in the interim, I presume?
Well, as there's no sheriff right now, you can be in the sheriff's shade. Show the Primogen what you're made of. That way, when you're made sheriff, it's all the more set in stone.
As you wish, my prince.
Oh, good. And then we'll work on educating Pip in the ways of High Council.
Well, you're going to enjoy that, Pip. Lots of books.
There's a lot of books. Yeah.
Say what? I wasn't listening.
Stop playing with your roaches, Pip.
I was reading my book. It's a good book. It's the third one. You all talk a lot, and it's very confusing, and it's just really boring,
Well, pretty soon things will not be boring, Pip. Especially if you're coming with us to deal with the Mary Wade situation. It's going to be very loud.
I feel like being dead would probably be very boring, actually.
Well, Depends on how you look at it.
A lot of lying in the ground and getting eaten by worms and other parasites.
Roaches. There you go. You'd be with
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the old prince, I think.
I guess that's the other thing that we need to discuss about what we found in the graveyard when Isaac, myself, and a couple of others followed the blood trail, I believe it was. Isaac, you probably would be able to describe it, but I'm not entirely sure exactly what you do. But I believe you, don't want to speak for you, but it's a possibility that Prince Taylor still lives. Is that correct?
But Timmy said he did it.
What I've found is evidence to suggest that the prince is not where he's supposed to be. Now, whether he's alive or whether he is final death is unknown. However, my tricks of the trade do not suggest that what you guys apparently saw is the full truth.
So the Prince Taylor's alive, then he's still Prince.
No, I did not say he was alive.
Timmy said,
I said there's a possibility that where he supposedly met final death, that's where the trail should have ended, but it didn't.
So what's
There's
in
still
Pip's lunchbox then?
That is a good question.
It's a very good question.
As far as we know, it's just ashes.
And as far as I'm concerned, whether Leslie Taylor still lives or unlives or not does have no bearing on your current status. You are Prince. You've been named Prince by the council. And as such, you are Prince, regardless of his state. There's also the issue of former Sheriff Marco being missing as well. And as you said earlier, that may come back to bite us in the ass if things get any worse. That's something that needs to be dealt with also. But priority is Mary Wade, as we can all agree. We must get Justicar back. Hopefully removing a majority of the SI in the process, which would be a good thing for Melbourne.
Well, as the intel that I provided, there's not a great deal of presence there. They are switching back and forth, but it's not a big number. But any number taken out is good.
I agree. Especially if we can get hold of the person responsible for that fucking trap house. That fucking hurt. I was not happy about that.
The curtain of your booth, there's a slight tapping on the side of the booth, and then the curtain pulls open ever so slightly, and Nathan leans his head and he says, "Oh, I don't mean to interrupt, my prince," and he bows almost sort of half one knee, and he says, "Some of the council are beginning to arrive. It's about 15 minutes to 3.
Yay. Part that I get to do. I won't let you guys have to deal with this. You can talk amongst yourselves, and I'll find one of the Primogen to do tactical maneuvers.
Can I get another playback, please?
Forgive me, Prince Echo. I would insist on joining you for
All right.
this, as I do have somewhat extensive tactical knowledge myself.
no one acknowledges Zane's call for a blood bag at this point. And I will say, unless there's something specific you want to say to the council, they all arrive. You guys will get into another booth. It's actually a totally separate meeting room in this building. For those who want to, assuming it's just Jax, Eco, and the council at this point. And they will promise you pretty much all the numbers that are available, which is a few hundred for each of the clan. Obviously, that's not everything because they have others out on business, but they're giving you as much as they can. It looks pretty good, considering you're hitting, I believe it's 3 SI buildings, one of them being the Mary Wade building, the other 2 being the outskirt buildings, and they are locked and primed and all the council. So there's a couple of Justicars here. Not all the council members are here. The Justicar's standing in for. Let me just click my page. There's a reason for it. Camera. So the Malkavian Justicar is here as opposed to the Primogen Council member who likes to stab people.
I liked her.
He was cool.
And yeah, but otherwise, most of the others are here in themselves. And like I say, is there anything you want to ask them? You can ask them now. Otherwise,
just to clarify for your storyteller,
Yes.
we're only hitting the building Mary Wade is in. We're not interested in the other 3.
Okay, so your team's
So Sarah's team is taking all 4. We're more interested in the Mary Wade. Yep.
Okay, so yes.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Justicar was prime target and only target for
so
us.
knowing that it's only a singular building, they would probably give you about 100 each, which would depend on what they're offering that as a number, and they're saying, what do you want from that number? That's basically it. That's a lot of people to throw at a building, so it depends how you want to approach it.
We probably wouldn't need that many. I would advise, Jackson would advise Prince that we wouldn't need huge numbers. If the intel's correct, that there was only. Right, because did we get numbers on how many were in the buildings?
I believe you did. I can't recall offhand.
I'd like to hold it like a beta group back in case of traps or funny business.
Exactly, right. I'd almost want 3 groups: Alpha Group, Beta Group, and Charlie Group as a reinforcement group.
So whatever numbers you need, that's what they've got allowing. So they've got an allowance of people you can use for each.
Would definitely want
clan.
Reasonable numbers and backup numbers, Echo said. And a mixture of talents, obviously, to deal with what we could possibly end up with the SI.
So whether you guys want to come up with that on the attack day and just sort of say, right, X amount of numbers here, there, and there, or if you want to discuss that out of cam, that's fine.
Yeah, Jackson would probably put together a tactical plan for the Prince to look over and approve.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to go see Isaac if we have time.
Yes, absolutely have time. Yep.
If we have time. After it's all done, then I'm going to go see Isaac separately and ask him with my hand on his shoulder. Remember way back when you were teaching me everything I needed to know to be a kindred when I was first starting out, and you said there's a way to see the true nature of someone, where they're from, who they are, everything.
Yes, that's true. We are able to dive into what we need to know about kindred, especially if they're not wanting to talk.
What would that take exactly? What do you need?
I need
my blood.
I'm gonna need a mixture of who I'm interrogating's blood and my own, and of course a little bit of time.
How much?
Oh, a pint will do.
A pint's a lot.
You are asking me what I need. I'm telling you what I need. Why are you asking me this, Prince?
Because I need somebody to know everything about me before this goes to shit, in case I die again. I figured it should be you. You were more of a mentor to me than my own. I'm not giving you a pint right here in the bar, though.
Did I ask you to give me a pint right here in the bar?
Just
on, Echo.
clarification.
Let's just, excuse me, Prince, can I have a pint of your blood? Sure. Slash in front of everybody. Yeah, that's
don't
gonna
have
look
to be,
really good.
Out of all these years, your sarcasm just gets stronger every day. Why? God.
Why?
Are you taking Aaron's place or something? Jesus. Ooh.
Well, at least it wasn't 50 years.
Oof. Oh. 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 All right.
Look, if you're suggesting that you want me to do that thing with, your precious liquid gold, we would do it somewhere safe and secure, of course, Prince Echo.
Is it going to help find out about this oblivion? How to stop it from taking over?
No. That requires a little bit more than a pint.
Shit. All right. Name
Which
the
I'm
time.
quite happy to disclose what I potentially need for that. I got nothing to hide.
Also, if we catch Tim, we can do the same to him. Find out who he truly is, right?
Do you want to know anything about anybody, particularly the unknown? You can find out. I just need them for a brief moment. Detained, torpored or not, doesn't matter to me. I don't care. As long as I get what I want, you get what you want. Win-win.
All right. Give me a time and place, and I'll give you a pint.
You're the one asking me, so what's convenient for you and your new schedule?
I am not used to this, all right? It's a very stressful... Okay, yeah, in an hour. Back room, share a pint. Let's go.
All right.
All right. And I rejoin everyone, and hopefully Zane has eaten.
While they're gone, we've got a couple of minutes for Jax, Pip, and Zane to have a conversation. If they wish.
Are you okay there now, Mr. Rivera?
I think they ignored me. I want another bag, but they left. And
Yeah, a lot of people have ignore you. I thought you would have noticed.
oh, okay.
It's probably for your health, I think.
My health.
Yeah, that they
Yeah.
ignore you.
What? Do you think they'd hurt me?
Well, you've been hurt quite a lot recently.
Not by them, I think. I don't know. Hang on. There was Aaron. He did set off a bomb.
He did, and then he left. That's pretty shady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Spencer, do you think that's pretty shady?
Everything about Aaron is shady.
Yeah.
Shh.
What the fuck, Zane?
Shh.
Tell me about Timothy, Zane. What else did he say to you?
Timothy. Well, he said he
Actually,
was the one.
actually,
that
don't. You hurt my brain. You really do. Pip,
That's just good.
Pip, do you think you could maybe, you know, focus on Tim, Jeremy, whatever the fuck his name is, and maybe, like, you know, do what you do? I mean, I don't want to push or anything if you're not comfortable with it.
I mean, I think I could.
I mean, only if you're comfortable with it.
Jesus.
Like, I mean, I know you're still learning, but
Yeah.
I want to catch this son of a bitch.
All right, and I'll put my book down, and I'll close my eyes.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry, Pip.
really, really strong thoughts about the time I met Tim Jeremy, and he showed me his tricks.
Okay. A couple of things are going to happen here. First thing is you're going to need to make a rouse check.
Mm. It's just a
Blood die.
blood dice. Success.
Nice. You don't get any hungrier, which is nice for you. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to roll a resolve or specs for me.
Resolve. All specs. Oh, and I got an extra dice from JJ.
Nice.
You did. I saw that in the chat earlier, so take that extra dice. Don't
It
forget your hunger
is-
dice in there.
Yeah, the 3 hunger dice.
Oh wow.
So 2, 4. No, the blood dice with the teeth on them. They're worth 4, aren't they? If you have 2 of them.
The red ones,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, with the extras. Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
if you have
have
two
of
extras-
So
them,
that's
yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Nice.
Okay, so 6 successes. That is pretty good. Tell me something. Are you still carrying around the ashes of what you believe to be Prince Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Whereabouts
let
In
them
the
go.
Sopranos case.
Whereabouts on your person are they?
They're in my satchel bag.
And your satchel bag is on your back, beside you?
Yeah, beside me.
Beside you. As you concentrate on Tim, you feel almost like a radiating warmth from the satchel bag, and then you go into a flash of premonition. The satchel bag, you look down as you sort of, I guess your vision goes white and you're just, everything is black now, but you're looking down at the satchel bag next to you and it's beating like a heart. You get another flash of Tim's face. Right at the beginning, when you first saw him in the office, where Prince Taylor and Marco were punishing him. I think you guys were all punishing him. That's what you see. His face. Then again, the heartbeat still beating in the background. You see Tim standing, extending a long claw in front of his face, smiling as he does so. He's looking at something intently. What do you have control in this vision a little. You can move about. At the moment, you're facing Tim. Do you want to keep facing Tim to watch him, or do you want to look around the room? Your choice.
I want to look around the room.
He is in what could only be described as a basement of an old school, maybe 1980s house. As you look around, you see a wooden banister down a stairway. red and yellow carpet swirls, weird 80s designs, horrid. But he is grinning and looking, and as you move around the room to see what he's looking at, there's an upturned bunk, old spring mattress style bunk or spring in style bunk. It's screwed to the wall somehow. It's hard to see. The vision's a little blurry on the outer edges. And on that bunk is chained Prince Taylor. You see Timothy's long claw extend more. You've seen this before. Aaron does it. His hands extending right out, and he runs the claw along the neck of Taylor. And you can see it's been done multiple times recently, more than likely recently. Taylor looks out. He doesn't look awake. Give me a resolve awareness with those hunger dice.
3 successes.
3 successes. Tim looks almost as if he's staring right at you. It's like you're a camera floating around the room, like a drone style camera as you move, and he almost looks right at. It's as if he is looking right into your eyes now. And then he looks back and he just takes a little of the blood that he has drawn, the vitae that he has drawn from Prince Taylor, and he licks it. And then your vision flashes to the ground where the vitae is running down Prince Taylor, who is much like how you found Zane, just in underwear, a shell of his former self, as the blood dribbles. The vitae dribbles from his toes into a bucket, an old steel bucket rusting on the edges. Chains that are over Prince Taylor seem to have left burn marks on his skin, and you can see almost small tendrils of smoke as Timothy licks a little bit of the vitae. I always say that differently, I do. And Prince Taylor's body moves, and more tendrils of smoke from the chain where he touches against it. Doesn't seem to wake up, but he just motions, maybe to the pain, maybe to the feeling of his vitae being taken. Tim says, "I want to absorb all of your power, ex-prince." And your vision ends. And that is where we shall call the episode tonight.
Motherfucker. GG.
Thank you, players. Wonderful first night back in for VTM. We're going to do our generic round the table ask of who liked what. It was a scratchy start. I felt rusty in the game, but I warmed into it. But Jackson,
I think we all did
tonight.
Yeah. Again, thank you, players and storyteller, for coming back and carrying on with our story. Of course, for me, I think one moment I think so. I think it was Echo that said when we first walked in the room was saying about, was it the Pac-Man boxes? That was just like, what? Strikes me as something that, I mean, probably more Star Wars boxes, but Pac-Man works just as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with everything that was said.
I thought that was great. And of course, the back and forth between Jackson and Isaac on the drive back to Elysium was well done. Magic was, I enjoyed that backwards and forwards. So
Good
couple of moments for me.
conversation,
Yeah.
And with that, we will sashay over to Magic. Isaac Montgomery Graves.
All right. Well, I'm going to expand on what Evil said about the boxes. Whereas the second time she comes in, when we find Zane, is that find you with Pac-Man boxes, holes where the nipples should be,
That's right, yeah.
and a pterodactyl hand.
Yes,
That was
that
brilliant.
That was another moment.
Yeah, I really had to hold back on that one. And another one not part of the story, but as the storyteller was describing a disco scene, I saw Grim busting a move in the camera, so I thought that was quite hilarious.
So I saw that as
Good
well.
work.
It was well done.
Thank you, Magic. And yeah, we're just going to keep sashaying. Someone mentioned Grim. Pip, what was your view of tonight's game?
Yeah, had to dance like the rave kids under the bridge. So you know. Timothy being threatening to Zane, and he's like, "I don't think Jackson likes me," and you're like, "I can understand why." Jackson having a bad time with the door, and then just ripping it off, and Echo is gonna share a pint with Mr. Graves. I thought that was quite funny.
Yep, absolutely. And Echo was the last name mentioned there, so Echo will sashay over to you.
I'm going to say I love the storytellers NPCs. I'm going to give a shout out to him because Sam getting nudes on his phone really was my highlight.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think we all knew who it was, but yeah, Jackson had no idea what the correlation was. It was great.
Yep. And I love Nathan. I love all the NPCs, so I'm loving that. So I will leave it at that.
It took me a little bit to slip back into Nathan, I must say. Nonetheless, Zane, lucky last.
So yeah, I'll have to go with what everyone else has said. The Pac-Man boxes, that was awesome. Love that. The annoying, being able to annoy Timmy, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
He's got patience, but not for you, eh?
No, it has. Jeez.
Must be.
Yeah, that's it.
Everything you guys said absolutely was on my list. For me, at the beginning, something about Aaron was said, and Pip says, "Bad dog." I know that catches me every time. Zane, anyone want to poke holes as he's looking at his half-naked self with his slashes and marks? I thought that was a really good little pun. Isaac, careful, Spencer, in the car. You're sounding like Sabat.
That was well done.
That was a really good.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
And yeah, Jackson and Isaac's conversation in the car was really. I thought that was a really great back and forth between you two, so that worked well. And so I got one for everyone tonight. And Echo, Arturo is my kindred daddy.
Yes.
That
sounded so bad, yeah.
I couldn't even think of a sire. I was like, this is going to be wrong,
kindred
but I got to do it. Kindred daddy. My vamp daddy.
Once again, thank you, everyone. Really enjoyed coming back and telling that story. And we're going to keep telling that story for the next upcoming Sundays.
Yep, so for the foreseeable future, as I said, we're going to continue telling the story until it comes to a completion. Obviously, we've just had a little bit of a tidbit at the end there. It's like, holy crap.
Sorry so too much in that, Pip, but that gives you a bit to talk about next time.
It does indeed. So before we go, Drax, I know you're still in the chat. Can we get a shout out for Echo Monroe, aka Yanti1, please? I know Yanti's taking a break from the streaming scene for the time being, but we will still shout her out as he will be coming back in the future and doing some more awesome D&D and Call of Cthulhu stuff over on her channel. So good to see you back on camera anyway, Yanti. And of course, a shout out for Mr. Magic the Gamer, another awesome content creator from the Aussie Australias. He'll tell he's a flog, but he's the flog that we all know and love. So definitely hang out with Magic when you see him online as well. Plays a lot of RPGs and all manner of games over there as well, and has story told or been a keeper for us on Call of Cthulhu over on Yanti's channel, and is obviously playing with us. He's played in a mini adventure with me, and he's here with us with Vampire Masquerade, so good to have Magic back with us as well. And again, can we get a shout out for Mr. Grim Realities, who has also joined the content creator ranks. Every now and again, once or twice a week, we will see Grim playing some old retro story games, point and click story games, which have been a lot of fun to actually sit back and watch. So definitely go check out Mr. Grim as well when you can. And of course, a big thank you to Trashman, who comes in right after milking, right at the start of the session on a Sunday. So cheers, Trashy, for jumping right in as soon as you get home.
It's all good. I think I convinced the boss to let me have half an hour off.
Oh, awesome. It's always good. So yeah, I just saw we had another raid coming there. Friday Taco's coming to raid, but we are just finishing up Tacos, but we're gonna raid someone else. We're gonna move on. We're gonna raid Zeit Poltergeist, who are also doing VTM tonight. So definitely follow us over there. Looks like they have a Malky, a Toreador, and a Gangrel in their story. So we're gonna raid those guys. Short of that, obviously be back here tomorrow for some map making stuff with me, as I'm going to probably do a custom map for Paradigm 2, which is a map that I forgot to make, which I'll do. I'm not going to tell you what it's for and what's in it, but you can come and hang out with me while I make that map tomorrow. That one should be a short one, so then after that we'll get on to the Blue Water Inn from Curse of Strahd and continue with the Curse of Strahd maps. We'll be doing that pretty much all week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure you're back here for another mini adventure set in Wildmount, which is Critical Role World, with Roasted Chicken as our guest DM. That should be a little mini adventure there as well. You will see some familiar faces that are on channel here tonight in that story as well. So hopefully see you guys there. Back map making on Thursday, and then back here Sunday for some more vampire stories. So cheers guys for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it very, very much. I'll just do that thing there. There we go. The raid is up. Make sure you go hang out with Zeit Poltergeist. If you've got the raid emote, use it. If you don't, use the Evldoa followers emote and let them know where you're from. Catch you next time.
Ciao.